Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome. I hope you can all hear me. Please, can you hear me? Please, can you hear me? If you can hear me, write on the comment section of this video. Please, can you hear me? Okay, good evening. So I hope you can all hear me clearly. Okay. So please, you can tell them in the group that we are going to start with the class, and I hope you are all ready. So let them give them like 2 minutes to join. Okay, so good day also, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just actually make some of my points very clear so that at least before we start the class, you will understand. You see, this is my YouTube channel, and currently in this my YouTube channel, there are over more than 10 courses. Some are courses for JAM, some are university courses. And among the DLC courses, and I think in this my YouTube, there are more than 10 DLC courses. And these DLC courses, as well as apart from 300 level courses, there are also the first semester courses. And these 5 semester courses include chemistry of macromolecules, that is Biochem 241. There is also biostatistics, 2 physiology courses, and another. Click on subscription and they are seeing payment. So for Biochem 241, all the videos are free and you can access them. But for the other courses like physiology, anatomy, biostatistics, you have to register as a member to the YouTube channel before you have access to them. And YouTube is one of the best way of receiving lectures. So whenever we had a lecture, so anytime you can revisit the lecture again. So I think I'm now going to share my slides so that we can start the discussion very clear. So I'm now going to share my slides. So please, I want to be sure that you can see this of my slide. Please, can you see my slides? Please, can you clearly see the slides? If you can see the slides, say hi. If you can see the slide, say hi. Okay, so excellent. So ladies and gentlemen, let us start the lecture. So I think as of yesterday, I shared some of the videos for you to watch for you to have an idea of what biochemistry is all about before we have the lecture. So now what is biochemistry, ladies and gentlemen? So we said biochemistry is one of the branches of science that deals with the study of the chemical processes that are taking place in a living organism. And when we say chemical processes, it means all the biological reactions, including the biomolecules that are involved in the reactions, is what you call is actually what trying to define biochemistry. And very importantly, ladies and gentlemen, if we are thinking about biochemistry, it's one of the area of biochemistry that trying to study the life using molecule. So if you are using chemical processes or you are using molecules to study the life, that is what describes biochemistry. And biochemistry is one of the very important tripod of medicine, because if you don't have understanding of biochemistry, you will definitely going to have problem with understanding the life itself. So that is why you need to take your time and have a good understanding of biochemistry. So without wasting much of our time, I'm now going to um, scroll my slides. And as you can see, biochemistry is a branch of science that explores the chemical processes within and related to living organism. So when we are trying to define biochemistry, it's one of the branches of science that trying to explore the chemical processes within and related to living organism. And very importantly, to study the entire living organism. And of course, when we say living organisms, life. So as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, uh, biochemistry is just trying to study the life using a molecule. So whenever you are using a molecules to study organisms, so that is what described as biochemistry. And very importantly, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I need to make my point very clear. You see, when we said anatomy is also a branch of science that trying to study the structure of a living organism. And when we said physiology is a branch of science that trying to study the functions of the body of a living organism. So ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this question. What determines the structure of a particular cell? What determines the structure of a particular organ? What determines the structure of a particular living organism? And how the structure of the liver differ from the structure of the kidney? And how the structure of the kidney differ from the structure of the brain? The answer is a protein. So protein is what determines the anatomical structure of each and every part of our body. And also protein is what determines the function of every cells in our body. Like for example, in humans, there are average 32.2 trillion cells. That is the number of cells that are found in humans, about 37.2 trillion cells. And we have different cell types. We have like about 220 different cell types, like liver cells, kidney cells, the muscle cells, they are all differ. So what make them differ from one another is the protein. So that protein is coming from biochemistry. Like for example, if you take red blood cells, the major functions of the red blood cell The major function of the red blood cell is transportation of oxygen. That is, it's transport oxygen from one part of the body to another. Sorry, it transport oxygen from one part of the body to another part of the body. That is the work of the red blood cells. And why is it that the red blood cells is doing that? Is because of the hemoglobin that is there, that is the protein. So I want you to understand that the structure now, if you look at me, or if you look at yourself, look at the color of your skin. Do you have fair skin color or you have dark skin color? It's because of the melanin. And melanin is the protein that are found on our skins, and that what determine the color of our skin. So that is why I want you to understand in biochemistry, we are just trying to use a molecules, or we are trying to use a chemical processes to understand the entire living organism. So that is why if you have a good knowledge of biochemistry, you can develop drugs. You can be a researcher that can be involved in drug development process. And this drug development process, it can start from identifying the target proteins, identifying the drugs that can target the protein. So all this is under biochemistry. So that is why if you have a good understanding of biochemistry, you will have a good understanding of the entire life. And everything that we are doing in biochemistry are all under cells. So from PhD down to undergraduate level, whatever you are doing in biochemistry, it combines the principles from biology and chemistry to understand how biological molecules function. So what I want you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, in biochemistry, it tries to combine the principle from biology and chemistry to understand how biological molecules function. So very importantly, ladies and gentlemen, some of you think that when we said biochemistry is just trying to talk about, or is a combination of chemistry and biology. But truly speaking, biochemistry is not a combination of biology and chemistry. Rather, it uses or it combines the principles of both biology and chemistry to understand how the biological molecules function. Because the biology is just talking about the living organism, while the chemistry is trying to talk about the chemical processes. So that is why, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand when we are talking about biochemistry. Yeah, hello, can you hear me? Can you still see my slide and you can hear me clearly? Are you with me, please? If you are with me, okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, so please put this at the back of your mind. Okay, some of you are saying that they cannot see my slides. Is it true that you can't see my slides? Okay, let me share it again. So what I'm saying here, in biochemistry, we are using the principles of biology and chemistry. So what I want you to understand, that biochemistry is not a combination of biology and chemistry. Rather, it uses the principles of both the biology and chemistry to understand how the biological molecules work. And that is what I want you to understand, ladies and gentlemen. In biochemistry, what we are doing is that those molecules that we are talking about, I think if you could clearly remember from the video that I sent you last time, the life that you see is started from atoms. And that is why if you ask to describe the organization of life, it started from chemical level. It started from atoms, then form a molecule from chemistry. So how those atoms combined together, how those atoms combined together to produce a particular living organism is what actually trying to describe the word biochemistry. So very importantly, ladies and gentlemen, the carbon, the nitrogen and the sulfur as well as the hydrogen are the one that combine to form what you call a molecule. And those molecules that we are talking about, it started also combined together to form a monomers. And examples of those monomers, we'll see them here as we are discussing, ladies and gentlemen. So you see, so understanding the biochemical, so in this lecture, in this of our lecture, what we are going to look at is we are going to look at how we are going to understand the basic biochemical terms, which are essential for studying health, disease, and cellular processes. So in this lecture, that is what we are going to look at. We are going to look at some of the basic terms, some of the basic terminologies that we use in studying biochemistry. So you see, number one, we have some branches of biochemistry, although yesterday we discussed about so many branches of biochemistry. So some of the branches of biochemistry, we have immunology, we have plant biochemistry, we have molecular biology, we have cell biology, and we have enzymology. So ladies and gentlemen, based on our discussion yesterday, here we are just having 5 branches of biochemistry. Please, I want you to write like 5 other branches of biochemistry apart from these ones. Please, I want you to write like 5 other branches of biochemistry apart from this one. Excellent, Yusuf Kodro, medical biochemistry. So what other branches of biochemistry do we have that is not here? What other branches of biochemistry? Yeah, you have made mention metabolic biochemistry, excellent. What again? Excellent, toxicology, enzymology, medical biochemistry, toxicology, lipid biochemistry, excellent. So all these are other branches of biochemistry. So excellent, biotechnology, we have also structural biology. All those are branches. We also have nutritional biochemistry. Excellent, brilliant, excellent, brilliant. So now, what is immunology? Immunology is a branch of biochemistry that associate with the study of immune system. Ladies and gentlemen, get it. Biochemistry, immunology is a branch of biochemistry that deals with the study of immune system. Immune system, what is immune system? Immune system is a system in our body that trying to protect us against any foreign substances or against any substances that can cause disease in our body. So that is immunology. So immunology is the study of immune system. And what is immune system? Immune system is a system in our body that trying to protect us against any foreign substances. It's always trying to protect us against those bacteria. Apart from bacteria, we have viruses. Viruses are also organisms that can cause disease in our body. So it is actually the work of the immune system to clear them. But you should understand that in immunology, we have 2 types of immune system. We have 2 types of immune system. Please, who can tell me? I know that you are doing physiology. What are the examples? Who can tell me what are the types of immune system? What are the types of immune system? When I said immune system is a system in our body that trying to protect us against any foreign substances. That is immune system. Okay, some of you are saying active and passive immune system. No, we have adaptive immune system and we have innate immune system. So it is the innate immune system and the adaptive immune system that further divided into passive and active immune system. But the actual types of immune system is innate and adaptive immune system. Excellent. Is it Dauda's Wilia? Yes. Innate and adaptive immune system. So it is the adaptive immune system that further divided into passive and active immune system. So the innate immune system is like the first line of defense. What are those like? What are those first line of defense? The first line of defense is like our nose. In our nose, we have mucus. So mucus, usually, ladies and gentlemen, if you realize in most of our openings in our body, you realize that there are fluids. Like for example, if you take skin, excellent, like you can see from Destiny, Nemezu, Destiny, he said skin. So you see in our skin, we have sweat. A sweat is a fluid that is highly rich in lysozyme. What are lysozyme? Lysozyme are enzymes that always degrade and digest bacteria before they get into our body. And of course, mucous membrane, excellent Aisha Gambo. Mucous membrane. A mucous membrane contains mucus, which also highly rich in lysozyme, which also take care or eliminate and digest the foreign organisms like bacteria and viruses. So apart from skin and mucous membrane, what also other examples of innate immunity? The tears. The tears. Excellent. Enzymes in tears. Uchechi. We have enzymes in tears. So the lysozyme is also there in tears. And then, yes, sebum in the ear. Excellent. So all these, they are examples of, all these are the examples of innate immune system. So if you realize in most of our openings, where things can easily get into our body, if you check there, you will realize that there are fluids. In women vagina, in man testes, there are sperm. Yes, in the mouth, there are saliva. So all these are the examples of the first lines of defense. I hope you understand. Excellent. Stomach acid. So all these, there are fluids that are trying to protect us from any foreign substances that can cause disease in our body. So that is the first line of defense. And this first lines of defense is what you call innate immune system. Then what about adaptive immune system? Adaptive immune system or acquired immunity or acquired immune system is a types of immune system that trying to eliminate and target those organisms that the innate immune system cannot take care of them. And it is highly specific. Usually, some of those organisms that can cause disease in our body, like bacteria, like viruses, like fungi, like helminths, that is worms, they have their specific antigen. They have antigen. And those antigens is what our body recognize as part of adaptive immune system. And then our body will now release or produce antibodies. So it is our body that generates or produce antibodies that can recognize the antigen from the microorganisms, and then it will now clear them. Yes, that is actually the principle of vaccinology. That is vaccine. Like for example, now, assuming now you have let's say you can have the attenuated organism, that is the inactive organism. You can inject it into a particular organisms, and they can produce antibodies that is specific to that organism. So that is why, for those of you that are that are actually going to be watching my videos on physiology, I have discussed all this, especially in human physiology 225. I discussed this. I have the videos on that where I clearly explain this immunity, the different types of immunity, and how this immune system works, and how you can also apply the aspect of reverse vaccinology, developing the RNA vaccine, the DNA vaccine, and then attenuated vaccines. No, vaccines example, no, vaccines is not under innate immune system. It is the adaptive immune system that is specific. Assuming now you have, let's say, Toxoplasma gondii. Toxoplasma gondii, it is the bacteria that cause toxoplasmosis. It is usually found from cats. And what happens to those cats? When they bite, or when those bacteria get into your body, when the innate immune system cannot take care of them, it is the role of the adaptive immune system to generate antibodies that are specific to those antigens from the Toxoplasma gondii. And once the antibodies are generated that are specific to that antibodies, it will remain there in the blood. So it has a memory cell. So whenever there is a subsequent infection with the same organism, so it is the work of that antibody to say, okay, I already know this organism, so let me just, and I already know this organism and I have the antibodies, so let me just respond to it. So that is what happens. So now, what is the connection between immunology and biochemistry? So the antigens and the antibodies that we are talking about, which class of macromolecules it is? Is it a protein? Are they lipids? Are they carbohydrates? Or are they nucleic acid? Please, I need this answer. Please, I am asking this question. Give me the answer. Can we, okay, Cynthia Obi said it is protein. The antigen and the antibodies that we are talking about, are they protein? Are they carbohydrate? Are they lipid or what? Okay, they said it is a protein. So excellent, excellent, it is protein. Although, if you check, the real answer is glycoprotein. The real answer is not a protein, rather they are glycoproteins. When we said glycoproteins, ladies and gentlemen, glycoproteins, it means you have a combination of protein and carbohydrate together. Excellent, Tosin. So the answer, they are glycoproteins. So you see, these molecules or these glycoproteins, they are molecules from biochemistry, because if you see, if you could remember from the beginning of the lecture, I told you that biochemistry is trying to study life using molecules. So those molecules, the glycoproteins, the lipids, and whatever it is, all those biomolecules, they are under biochemistry. So that's why you have immunology, because immunology is operating under the principles of those classical macromolecules. So that is why immunology fall under a branch of biochemistry. So do you understand now the relevance of immunology in biochemistry? So then the next one is plant biochemistry. So when you said plant biochemistry, it means it is one of the branch of biochemistry that is associated with biochemistry of plant. No, it's not a combination of atoms from carbohydrate and proteins. Rather, you can just see combination of carbohydrates and proteins. So the next thing that we are going to talk about apart from plant biochemistry is molecular biology. What is molecular biology? Molecular biology is the study of informational macromolecules. So please, I want you to tell me what are the examples of informational macromolecules. So molecular biology is the study of informational macromolecules. And I think I have actually discussed this in my video. In the videos that I sent you recently, what are the examples of informational macromolecules? What are the examples of informational macromolecules? Yes, excellent. DNA is an example of informational macromolecules. Then apart from DNA, what are the other excellent RNA? DNA and RNA are examples of informational macromolecules. And then what again, apart from DNA and RNA, what are the other examples of informational macromolecules? Apart from DNA and RNA. So DNA and RNA are examples of informational macromolecules. No, carbohydrate is not an informational macromolecules. Yes, excellent. No. There is no carbohydrate. Protein, RNA, and DNA are examples of informational macromolecules. And ladies and gentlemen, when we come actually where we are going to start discussing on the concept of this molecular biology, where we are going to talk about the DNA, RNA, and proteins, that is where you are going to begin to also appreciate biochemistry. Because these informational macromolecules, they are the language of life. If you are brilliant, it's because of these macromolecules, DNA, RNA, and protein. If you are if you are beautiful, it's because of these informational macromolecules. If you are dull, it's because of these informational macromolecules. If you are smart, it's because of these informational macromolecules. So we are coming to that and we discuss that. And then apart from molecular biology, we have cell biology. So a cell biology is also a branch of biology that deals with the study of cell. So it's a branch of biochemistry that is associated with cell. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, in this of Biochem 241, we are going to discuss cell biology extensively. And we also have enzymology, which is also another branch of biochemistry that deals with the study of enzymes. And remember, when you said enzymes, they are biological molecules that usually speed the rate of the chemical reaction. Like, for example, as I'm talking here, I talk because there are enzymes that are controlling the reactions that make me to talk. As I'm smiling, there are enzymes that are responsible for my smiling. Kai, Destiny, why are you saying that you are dull? Yeah, actually, because of these informational macromolecules, if you are intelligent, so what I'm saying now, if your parents are intelligent, so they are intelligent because of the nature of the DNA and the proteins that are found in their body. So assuming now, that is why I said this information macro. So especially if your mother is dull, so there is a likelihood that 80% to 90% of agency is coming from the mother. So we get 80%, the 80% of the intelligence is coming from the mother. So if your father is intelligent and your mother is dull, so there is a likelihood that 80% of our children to 90% are going to be dull. So that is why the DNA, we consider it as a language of life. The proteins are also considered as a language of life. So that is why I want you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, it is very important to understand knowledge of biochemistry. It will guide you to be a good wife. It will also guide you to be a good husband, because biochemistry is associated with the study of the macromolecules. Someone is asking, why is it that we are dull? So someone is asking, why is it that the intelligence and dullness are inherited from the mother? The reason is one. What is the chromosome of a mother? Excellent. So mother is having XX chromosome. Okay. So women are having XX chromosome. So what about Y? What is the chromosome of a man? What is the chromosome of a man? Okay, the chromosome of a man is XY. So now please let me ask you structurally, what is the difference between X and Y structurally? If you look at them very well, what is the differences between X and Y structurally? What is the difference between X and Y structurally? No, let me show you. Let me stop sharing the slide so that you can see this. Okay, I think you can see this. Can you see this? XY. XY. So now, assuming now if I deleted this site, what is it going to give me? Look at it. Excellent, excellent. The Y look like incomplete X. Brilliant. So now let me ask you, what do we have in a chromosome? What do we have in a chromosome? What do we have in a chromosome? What is there? If you have a chromosome, what is there in the chromosome? Excellent. It contains DNA. In a chromosome, we have DNA. And what do we have in the DNA? You have nucleus. In the nucleus, you have chromosome. In the chromosomes, you have DNA. And what do we have in the DNA? We have genes. So now, let me ask you. So it means that if you have X, and then when you have something missing here, if you have something missing here, what does that mean? Does that mean you have some genes that are missing? Does that mean that you have missing genes? Because Y give incomplete X. So in the X, like this, it means that you have complete genes. Set with intelligence are part of they are the part of what's missing. It's part of the missing genes that are found in the Y chromosome. So that is why intelligence is coming from the mother. That is one of the reasons. Because some genes are missing in the Y chromosome that are associated with the intelligence. So that is one of the reasons why intelligence is coming from the mother. It's not fair. So that is one reason. And another reason why 80% of intelligence is coming from the mother is breastfeeding. Excellent, Felicius. It means the X chromosomes carries more genes, and those genes that are missing in the Y, they are associated with intelligence. So, and another reason is lactation, that is breastfeeding. 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 And apart from the breastfeeding, let me ask you, in a cell, where did we, in a cell, remember in a cell we have a mitochondria. So now let me ask you, during fertilization, during fertilization, the mitochondria of our child, is it coming from the mother or is coming from the father? Let me ask you this question. Our own mitochondria, the mitochondria that we have, the mitochondria of our cells, is it coming from the mother or is coming from the father? Excellent. The answer is mother. So the mitochondria of our cells is coming directly from our mother. During fertilization, okay, let me ask you, which part of the sperm cell that is involved in the fertilization? Is it the entire sperm or the nucleus of the sperm? During fertilization, is it the entire sperm that fertilize the egg cell or only the nucleus? Okay, excellent. So it's the nucleus of the sperm cell. So if it is the nucleus, what about the other part of the sperm cell? What happened to the other part of the sperm cell? So it's only the nucleus of the sperm cell will be discarded. So it is only the nucleus. So meaning that everything except the nucleus of the sperm cell, that is the only thing that participates in the fertilization. So the remaining everything, the mitochondria and other components of the cells are all coming from the mother. But now the question is, it's not only in the nucleus that we have DNA. So the mitochondria also contain DNA. So we have three components or the three parts of the cells where we have DNA. We have the nucleus, we have mitochondria, and then we have chloroplast in plants. So that is why now one of the important of that mitochondria is also have indetermination of maternity. Like for example, if there is a torn child and you want to know or you want to estimate who is the mother of that child, so the best thing to do is to get the mitochondrial DNA. So if you take the mitochondrial DNA, you take from the child and you take from the mother, when you take them together, when you run them on electrophoresis, it will give you the same pattern. It will give you the same pattern. So because our own mitochondria is coming from our mother, because the X chromosome from the mother has complete genes, and also because of lactation, these are the three reasons why we human we inherit our intelligence or 80% of intelligence from our mother. So I hope, ladies and gentlemen, this is really clear. So let me continue sharing my slides. And don't forget, I think I made mention something very important. So someone is asking, how do we determine that of the father? If you want to check, or if you want to determine determination of paternity, and we call it DNA fingerprinting. And if you want to do it, you can get the DNA from the nucleus, and if you can get it from, if you can get the DNA from the nucleus of for both the child and the father, you can run them on electrophoresis. It will give you similar patterns. So based on that, you will know that, okay, this is really the father and this is really, so you can, from there you can clearly identify the father of the child. And this thing that you are seeing is something that is very simple. If you can, I think with 10 million you can have a lab where you will be doing this kind of experiment. I'm telling you, with 10 million you can do this. You can just get your, you can, once you have your PCR machine and you have your gel documentation system, you can do this. You can be doing this in your lab, and it is easier to do that. So so that is that. And ladies and gentlemen, let me make my point very clear. I want to say something. One, um as I said in my YouTube channel, you know that, okay, look at Lucy Chiamaka. Lucy Chiamaka, if you look at her name, you'll see that it is actually, it's not the way like your own appear. So that indicates that she is a member to this YouTube channel. When I said a member to a YouTube channel, as I said, for this semester that we are doing, I have over 5 videos. Like for example, in my YouTube, I have videos for human physiology 225, human physiology 227, biostatistics, and anatomy, including biochemistry, which is number 5. So you are my student. So all of you that are doing biochemistry under me, they will have access to all my videos, and it is free for all biochemistry. But for other courses, if you want to watch them, physiology, the 2 physiology courses, human physiology 225, human physiology 227, anatomy 213, and biostatistics. If you want to have access to those videos, what I usually do, I have a videos where I solve many of the question papers, many of the past question papers, and we are still doing it. We are still doing it on my YouTube. So I have all the videos on biostatistics. I covered it completely. I have the videos where I use a bot to solve them. I have a videos where I solve first question paper, and I also follow the materials from beginning to the end. I have all that videos. And also in addition, apart from the biostatistic, also the human, the physiology 225 and physiology 227, I also solved the first question paper also. So, and very interestingly, I want to tell you that most of the students from DLC, they usually use my videos from YouTube channel. They usually use this YouTube channel to watch my videos, and I'm very happy that many students are now uh, are no longer having problem and issues with carryovers, because I make things very easy. And I think some of you watch my videos on biostatistics, and I have the videos. Some of the videos that are very short, they are very short and very concise, and you can easily understand them. So as I said, for biochemistry, because you are a student assigned to me, so all those videos, they are free. So for the order, for you to have access to order 4 courses, you need to join the YouTube membership. And joining the YouTube membership, we have level 1, we have level 2, and we have level 3. Level 1 is 750. Level 2 is 1,500. Level 3 is 4,000. So if you want to join most of the videos of your courses are at level 2. So if you are able to pay 1,500, you will have access to all the videos. So it means that you are going to have access to videos of all the 5 courses that you are doing, including solution to the past question papers. And we also going to have time where we are going to have a similar interaction like this for the other courses. Maybe if you check one topic and you didn't understand it, so if you are a member, you can ask me to send you a video, so I will send you the video. And if I don't have the video, I will do it. Like for example, look at, as you can see, Aju Suliat, she just joined the YouTube, but she joined level 1. So what she's going to do, I will advise you to upgrade to level 2, because most of those 5 videos, they are all at level 2. That is, you will see PQ and short videos, which is 1,500. But it's not compulsory. I'm saying this is not compulsory. If you are my student and you're doing Biochem 241, you will have access to all the videos for Biochem 241. I make that videos, all of them, they are free. All of those videos, they are free. But for the other 4 courses, if you want to join and you want to be watching them, you have to pay 1,500. And after all, if you want to, I have also another WhatsApp group. I have another WhatsApp group where we are doing tutorial, and I think I send you, many of you have joined. So that WhatsApp group, we have a timetable. We already have a design timetable where we have each course, we have a specific day that we are doing it. What I do usually, maybe early in the morning, or maybe around 10, I will just send the link to a video that we are going to discuss. So when I send it, you will watch it, and maybe around 8:30, I will be asking questions. I will be asking you questions and be supplying the answer to the video. Some of the questions from the past question paper, I will be asking you, and then, so that is how I do it. So I already have a lot of people that already joined the YouTube membership. I already have a lot of people that joined. The second semester student and 200 level student, they are already a member. So actually it's not expensive. I just made it. Even 1,500 is just because of the data, and even me, I'm doing some subscription. I subscribe to many other softwares where I use them to make the video. So that is the reason. So if you want to join, you when you check on my YouTube, you can see join. So click on that join. So when you click on that join, it will request you to input the details of your ATM. And once you input the details of your ATM, it will ask you, one, if you check your ATM, there are long numbers. So those long numbers, you put them there. The expiry date, they will ask you the security code. That is the 3 numbers at the back of your ATM. That is what you are going to put there. And it is genuine. It's just 1,500. It is genuine. Nobody will steal your money. And anytime that you feel that you don't longer need the YouTube and you want to disconnect yourself, you can disconnect it. But I'm just advising you. If you really want to pass your courses without having any issues. It's not actually only biochemistry. There are 4 other courses. So I'm just advising you, if you really want to get all the videos and you don't want to have issues, because videos, they are easier. You can just play them as you are doing things, as you are watching. So it's especially you that you usually do a lot of works you have a lot of things to do. So sometimes it is much more easier as you are doing something and then you will be watching the video. Like I can see Ajio Suliat, you are already a member. So I think after this class, I will send you the link to the other WhatsApp group. So once I send you, you can click on it. So if your card details are not longer available, you can use your friend ATM card or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend ATM card. You can use it, but no, you can only use ATM to make the payment. That is what Google used to. That is how Google receives payment. So you can see Rufai Ifebu just joined. So there is no any difficult things there. There is no any difficult things. And as I said, I will send you, like for example, so tomorrow is Sunday. I think what we are going to, I think is anatomy. Tomorrow is anatomy. That is what we are going to do. I think tomorrow, but I was resent the timetable. So that is how we used to do things every day, at least keep yourself reading every day. And I think I have also a video on how to pass university examination. So I will also send you the link to that video so that at least you will watch it from beginning to the end, and that will help you on how to time yourself, how to program yourself in order to actually be able to program yourself properly and pass your courses. You see, you are spending a lot of money, so it is better you get a very good grade so that at least wherever you find yourself, you will be happy. So thank you very much. And you see another one just joined, Ulelu. So let me actually continue with the lecture because it is almost 10. So let's continue with the lecture. But all those lectures, they are already, most of the Biochem 241, I have a complete lecture from beginning to the end. No, if you pay level 1, it's not every videos that you can have access to. So, but I'm sure if you registered with level 2, that is PQ and short videos, which is 1,500, you will have access to all the videos. So you see another one joined, Amara. So I'm just advising you, it is always advisable to try as much as possible to join so that at least you will not have issue. So let's continue with the lecture. But then after all, even if you are not joining us, you can click on subscribe. To click on subscribe is free, that one, but you can that if you subscribe, it will help you at least to have access to or to be seeing the videos that are related to my YouTube, especially in the biochemistry. But the most important thing is you try to register with the YouTube so that you can have access to all the videos. You can have access to all the videos. So, and I think it's not expensive. It's not expensive. Yeah. So now let's continue so that at least we will not waste much of our time. Although I have this lecture in the YouTube. So now the next thing after defining biochemistry is the molecules. So what are molecules? So when we said a molecules is when we have atoms bonded together. So when you have two atoms or more bonded together, forming a smallest unit of chemical compound, that is what we call a molecule. So a molecule, ladies and gentlemen, you should know this. So the next thing that we are going to discuss is a molecule. So what is a molecule? A molecules are groups of atoms bonded together forming the smallest unit of chemical compound. So when we said a molecules is when you have atoms that join together. So when you have two or more atoms join together, that's actually lead to generation of compound. And very importantly, we have different types of uh, molecules. We have molecules of an element and we have molecules of a compound. When we said molecules of an element is when you have the same atoms. Like for example, you have oxygen atoms. You have oxygen atoms react with another oxygen atoms to form a molecules. So that is what you call molecules of an element. So whenever you have the same atoms like oxygen, oxygen, hydrogen, hydrogen, sulfur, sulfur, carbon, carbon, the same atoms combined together. So that is what we call molecules of an element. But when you have oxygen react with hydrogen, you see there are two different atoms. So that is what you call molecules of a compound. Anybody that is missing the information, please, you can go back, sorry, you can rewatch the video again. So then we have a compound itself. So compounds are substances made of two or more different types of atoms. So you see, in a compound, that is why we said we have molecules of an element and then molecules of a compound. So in the case of molecules of a compound is when you have different atoms joined together. That is what we call a compound or a molecules of a compound. And then the molecules of an element is when you have the same atoms joined together. So please get it. Molecules of an element. No, Deborah, you didn't join. Aisha Ghazali, you are welcome. So Aisha joined. So when you have oxygen, oxygen combined together, so it's molecules of an element. Then a molecules of a compound is when you have different atoms. When you have different atoms joined together, that is what we call a molecules of a compound. Yeah, of course, you can go back to watch the video after the class. Yes. So the next thing is, so in biochemistry, the common molecules that we studied, the common molecules that we studied in biochemistry is carbohydrates. We have carbohydrates, we have lipids, we have proteins, and then we have nucleic acids. So these are the common molecules that we study in biochemistry. So we have lipids, proteins, nucleic acids, and carbohydrate. So we are going to take all this we are going to take them and discuss on them. So that is under biochemistry. So briefly in this our lecture, we are going to look at each of these, the major molecules that we study in biochemistry. So we have what you call monomers and polymers. We have monomers and polymers. These monomers, they are small or simple molecules that can be joined to form a larger structures called polymers. So when you have a smaller atoms, these smaller atoms come together to form a molecules. And then the molecules form a monomers. And then the monomers join together to produce a larger molecules. And I think for some of you that watched my videos yesterday, you see how we started with the organization of life, where it started from atoms, and then from atoms to molecules, and then from the molecules, then we have monomers. Then from monomers, the monomers join together to produce macromolecules. And these macromolecules that we are talking about are the carbohydrates that we just described, the carbohydrates, the proteins. So the polymers are larger, or they are large, complex molecules are composed of repeating monomers. Like for example of the monomers, we have amino acids. So amino acids are the monomers of, it's a monomers that form a proteins. So I think from here, ladies and gentlemen, we have different types of monomers that can form a polymer. So examples here we have amino acid. So amino acid is a monomer of a protein. Then we have fatty acids and glycerol. So fatty acid and glycerol is also an example of a monomer of lipids. We have nucleotides. It's also an example of monomers of nucleic acid, which is DNA and RNA. So, ladies and gentlemen, actually, I realized that it is almost time, and I don't want us to waste. Okay, if you consider it is almost 10. So this is just an introductory class. This is just an introductory class because we just started today. And can we stop here or we can continue? But what I want you to understand, that is why I advise you to try as much as possible to join the YouTube, because it is already late. It's already late. I don't know why it actually bring the delay of assigning tutors, because very soon you are going to write. You're supposed to start at your semester 26 May. Yeah, provided that you are a member to my YouTube channel. So once you go to my YouTube, click on my YouTube page, and then you click on playlist. So when you click on playlist, it will take you to different playlists. So when you click on the playlist, it will show you physiology, biochemistry, microbiology. So under biochemistry is that you will see chemistry of macromolecules. You will see cell structure and function. So all those videos are for you. There is also a biostatistic. You click on that. There is also physiology. So for the physiology, all the videos on physiology, both 227 and 225, they are all there. So you can just click on that. So once you click, it will give you access to all the videos. So you can just click. Excellent. You see, Jessica Hanya, he just decided to register with exceptional facts. So the most important thing, don't look at the amount that you are going to pay to join and watch all the videos. It makes your work much more easier. And also after that, in addition, you spend a lot and you are going to write your examination. So try as much as possible to pass all your courses with a good grade. So, but the most important thing I want you to understand, there is a group for Biochem 241 which I am assigned to you as a tutor. So there is a group for that. And there is a group for tutorial. So the group for tutorial, that is where we are going to talk and be discussing the other courses. So if you are not in that group, immediately after this class, I will send the group link or the general tutorial group, then you join. 241 class, that is the only thing that we are going to be discussing there. So if you want to ask me any question related to other courses or membership, so go to the tutorial group. And if you are not even interested in the tutorial, you can decide not to join. But we have 5 days. We usually have 5 days. We usually have 5 days for the tutorial. It's only, I think, on Monday and Friday. Monday and Friday are the only 2 days that we don't usually do discussion and tutorial in the group. So that is what I want you to understand. So please, I don't want you to be taking the discussion from the general tutorial group where we are doing biostatistics, the human physiology and anatomy, and we start bringing them to our usual biochem 241 class. Please try to be differentiating the two. So for biochem 241, all the videos are free. All the videos are free. You don't need to join. The only thing that you can do, you can subscribe, you can click on subscription so that at least whenever I upload new video related to biochem 241, you can see the video. So that is what I want you to understand, please. So please, do you have any question? Because it is almost done. This is just actually a general introduction. So we are going to start the class properly tomorrow. Yes, for the tutorial, if you are interested on my videos and other lectures on other courses. So that is where you are going to join the general tutorial group. But if you are not interested, you can just decide to keep yourself in our usual biochem 241 group. Okay, Modesta said she didn't understand the plant biochemistry. So when we said plant biochemistry, it means it's a branch of biochemistry that deals with the biochemistry of plant, just the biochemical, or the branch of biochemistry that deals with the biochemical process or chemical processes in plant cell. So it's just trying to tell you that it is the biochemistry of only plant. So are we gonna be having classes every day? No, it's 5 days. It's 5 courses and 5 days. What I usually do, I will send a video, maybe like for example, for those that are yet to join, I will just go to I will send the link so that you can all join. Then we'll check from the timetable which of the course are we having tomorrow. So when I saw it, then I will now get a link for that particular course. So I will send you. So if I send you, so the next thing that you are going to do, you can have the whole day to be watching. But by 8:30, we'll be discussing the same video that I send you to watch. So that is how I do. So I'll give you like 12 hours or 15 hours to go through the videos. So after you watch the video, then I will come to the group and I will be asking you basic questions. If it is biostatistics, so I will be sending you videos and I will be sending you questions after you watch the videos on the same topic, and then I will send you the same questions from the same topic to try and be sending the answer in the group. So that is how we do it. Lisa, what time is the lectures tomorrow? It's 8:30. We'll maintain the same time. So I couldn't join. Please help me out. You are not getting any notes. You have your course material already. What you do, you take the course material and you have the video, then you now use them together. That is how to read. So is there any other question, please? And as I promised, I will send you the videos on how to read and how to pass your university courses. No, the course material you can get it from the website. You can get it from your website. I think you can get it there. Okay, someone said I should. I said okay. Okay, the security is those three numbers at the back of your ATM. If you check them, you see them. There are three. So that is the security question. So someone is asking about mitochondria. We said during fertilization, it's only the mitochondria of the mother that a child inherits, because the sperm cell contribute only the nucleus, and all other part of the sperm cell do not participate in fertilization. It usually discarded. So Ibrahim Bakar just joined. So that is what I want you to understand. And in the mitochondria, we also have DNA, and that DNA contains genes. So some of the genes are associated with the intelligence. So it means that our own mitochondria, we get them directly from our mother. So that's why if you can take my mitochondria, you take the mitochondria of my brother, you take the mitochondria of my sister, you take the mitochondria of my mother, they are going to be the same. I said after this tutorial, I will send the tutorial group to those two. I will send them to our Biochem 241 group. So when I send it, if you join, please don't bring the discussion of Biochem. The general tutorial group. Don't bring it to our usual Biochem 241 group. Yes, of course, we can find the DNA also in the chloroplast of plant. Yes, you will see join. So when you see join, you click on the joint, and once you click, it will require you to input your details on your ATM card and your address and everything. Then you can do that. So please, I'm just advising you, try as much as possible. Try as much as possible. Don't waste time. There is no time. And don't be among those students that will only be reading when there is exam. It is very wrong, please. It is very wrong. Start now. Have time to read every day. 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 Don't be among those students that will only read when there is test or exam. Please, your aim here is not just only to pass examination. It's only for you to understand, to get the concept and apply it on your daily practices. And sometimes I used to take some of the disease, discuss about them. I used to do that so that at least, especially like common disease that have serious issues, I usually used to take usually make some videos, discuss on them, and then bring about how to diagnose them and also treatment. So please, I don't want you to be like you are my student and at the end you'll coming up with carry over. I seriously don't like that. If you are doing this by Biochemistry 241 and you are my student, I will be happy to see a lot of A's. I will be happy to see a lot of A's. Please, it is very important. That is why you leave a lot of things and decide to join the program. Please and please, please and please, try your best. Do all you are not. Do all you are not. If you watch the video, make note from it. Try as much as possible to be a very active, good student, and also pass your courses with a very good grade, and you graduate. Please and please. And to do very well, read every day. Please read every day. Please read every day. At least give 2 hours or 3 hours of your time to read. Please do that. So thank you very much. This is where we are going to stop, and it is already 10. This lecture, you can always have access to it. So please, we are going to stop until tomorrow by 8:30 p.m. Thank you very much, and see you next till we meet tomorrow.